Told him I ain't selling it for nothing less than lavish.
Nah, come on, man.
Draco made a hit with this one.
Yeah, and Jazzy had no chill with. Beautiful night, y'all. How y'all doing? I hope y'all having a grand rising if y'all watching this when this drops. But it's still a beautiful night. Give thanks. I'm really starting to feel like these videos are very legendary. Like, how dare I record these videos every day and feel so compelled to consistently do this? Like, a lot of things I do consistently, I know is beyond me. I know that it's guided with intention of insight for people beyond me. So humbly, I'm grateful to be a vessel to express myself. Like, it's nothing more than expressing myself and expressing the side that is in tune with God. So even if I'm just the representation of that, it's a beautiful expression. Thanks to God and just thanks to myself. I give a round of applause to myself for actually cultivating my life, co-cultivating it, and just also creating such a beautiful manifestation. Like, I am truly thankful. With lots, with very little, I am grateful and still abundant. I have more than what I need. I don't have enough to really share in the way that I want just yet, but when I do, you guys will know. We got the power awakening on the bottom of this. So, how y'all doing? Thank y'all for tuning in. I don't know what it is that would have called y'all into this video, but what called me to record this video is just me acknowledging just how much I've created the life that I live right now, even down to the parts that are not all the way cultivated and the parts that I have to continue to develop and grow with. I can see why it is that way. You know, when I can be consistently making a video, but I can't consistently stay on the charts, or I can't consistently read a book every day, I find that my purpose is not necessarily guided in the form of practical structure, but is guided in a form of just realism and progression on a consistent base, so that I know exactly where I'm going, because I had the capacity to be a jack of multiple trades and a master of none. So at this point, what I've mastered is being able to at least know how I feel, and with that, I branch off to so many other aspects. I feel like if anyone want to know what they want to do in life, yeah, you could base it off of someone that you know or things that you've seen as reference, but in this new age, when it starts to become you cultivating something that only you can bring to this world, what I would suggest, because naturally I always had the power to create and cultivate things in my own way. Even if I was using another as reference, I would be able to take that information and still instill my own form of individuality. And so, for example, I use life as a reference, but there's also an element of everything that I make is something that only I can make, and I've been that way since the beginning. So with that in mind, I would just say to not think about other people, like, very much is indulging in how you feel about it, like, as deeply as you could think about that, even if it makes you cry, even if you realize that the more you think about it, the more you don't know, because there's so many things that you can think about that aspect. When you really get to that phase of being like, wow, this is a real thing that's affecting me so much that I actually feel this affect more than just this circumstance, but now it's affecting how I treat other people. Now it's affecting exactly how I move with myself, how I treat myself, and how I want to be represented. It's so many things that you want to think about a circumstance, but when you get to a place of just acknowledging that this is how I feel about it right now, this is okay to change, but in this present moment, this is how I feel, and also this is how we want to feel. And when you see if that's balanced, or at least in somewhat of relation, then you just go with that and you flow with that, and you allow God to show you exactly why it has to be that way. Because there's a thin line of really overlooking and sabotaging your manifestation because you feel like it should have been another way. Like, a lot of people, for example, when I say I'm a rich, like I call myself the rich auntie, or just like, you know, me understanding that I'm rich, period, right now, before like a physical $1 million in my account. But me knowing that, people could base it on just the material, but the abundance is just the fact that I have more than what I need. Sometimes I have things sitting and I didn't even know I needed it until like 3 months down the line, and I already had it there. That is abundance. But that's beyond the fact. I mean that on a lot of factors. I feel like money is definitely a construct, and I it's inevitable for me to obtain an abundance of that, because my constructs and just the mental and just how I see my future and what I desire for just emotional feeling and what makes me feel good, that is expanded beyond just what you may fathom, beyond what a traditional girl that went to Tucson Louverture Elementary and Miami Senior High. So long story short, it was a different person, but that construct has expanded to dynamics that I want to know more than what I already had the vision of, or actually the real manifestation of. For example, being connected to IML and meeting multiple millionaires. However they got to their millions, they actually cultivated that reality to teach other people how to do it too. And it was a lot of over 100 of those people, millionaires in a room, if not millionaires, six-figure earners. And here I am riding on a plane in spirit, and I was still in that room with them people. You know, when God do things like that, it's just for me to expand. So now I know what it would look like when rich people put an event together, and that's tied into everything that is of me. But I'm still from Miami. I'm still from, you know, Caribbean descent and African descent, and it's very spiritual, a very deep and depth version of spirituality. Even with me being rooted from that, I still come into this world and I embrace the reality and want to seek the best, and not just for me and my lifeline and what I could cultivate with what I know and what I can gain and extend and add my own sign on. I've been waiting lifetimes to be in a position where I can actually manifest that thing that in my head, and then have the power to see that live out in my reality. And I'm still young. Like these, I'm 27 and I'm not necessarily where I want to be, but I was not here 5 years ago, and this is where I wanted to be 5 years ago. So to acknowledge that I see this in my life and I still am not even 30, it's like, wow, the potential of when I'm 30, 35 and how that would look. Because this is me not even putting full potential. To be honest, I'm an earth angel, so it's divine, it's by nature. My heart is pure, light as a feather. So that's why I will always be coincide with good energy and blessing. I don't wish no ill intent, but I definitely have a slick ass mouth. Call it what you want. But my heart is still light as a feather, because I don't hold any grudges on anybody. Like sometimes I forget. Like somebody did me wrong, I literally forget it so much that it's almost like it's not like it didn't exist, because obviously I gained from it, and what I needed to learn from that, that's what I take with it. But I forget your whole energy, your voice, like how you make me feel, like certain signatures, because I'm so active in my new life. And that's a beautiful disaster for some people. But getting back to the source, I just wanted to mention the fact that when you're manifesting your life and you acknowledge it, and see that, wow, yeah, you're getting there, even down to the way that you have carpets on your floor now and things of sort like that. That's something to be very grateful for. But also continuing to expand, because you don't even know what you don't know. Sarai, Sarai, what will be shall be. That's that melody. Apparently that was trending on TikTok, but what must be shall be. Ooh. I know y'all see that butterfly on top, but this is a very tribal skeleton. That is what I see from this right now. I feel transition is inevitable, but always going to be impactful, always going to be instilled. It's a reason why you see the bone and still see that tribal instillment. It connects to what I said. This is in my blood. Like what I create magically out my own body without no assistance, in my blood. And and my DNA embodiment, the muscle mass is within that being of that. The reason why my skin sparkle, you know, that is where this energy is cultivating. And through the moon cycles, that means transformation that comes with time, patience. Something can be grown. Starts here and it formulates and it's a beautiful flower. And I love that it's lavender because I was listening to Bob Proctor, I believe. He's a motivational speaker. He's big on The Secret, and he kind of pushed that lifestyle of cultivating the mindset. And actually, it's funny because he was connected to IML when I was. But long story short, like I was listening to some of his stuff, and I realized how he does a lot of the subconscious embedding and just putting it in your DNA code. But he said there's like a purple light, so a lavender energy that flows through your body and it heals you. And you imagine it, even if you don't feel it at first, the more you believe it, the more you will see that even if you don't see it physically, it's there. You can feel that and you can take that with you. So for me to see that purple flower is even more deeper. It's beyond the fact that it's a beautiful flower growing with such good vine and root, but with healing. And then we have circle across the tenet, and it says rare intersection of heaven and earth. I see this all the time. And if I must be honest, I know when I was 7 or 17, my reality was not like this. Like, I definitely live life in high definition, and even when I'm sober, like life just feels a lot lighter. It feels a lot like, I remember I used to ask myself, like, what is the point of this? Or where do we go when we leave here? Or where was I at before I came here? And the whole time people out there talking about shit that don't matter. I knew that at 8, 9, 7, that a lot of stuff people talked about did not matter to me because I'll be sitting there thinking about questions that even church couldn't answer. But beyond that, I feel tapped into a whole different realm of reality and just living through understanding the subconscious reality and just my spiritual nature and just tapping into my 5D body and vessel. It definitely is a new world. So when I look at that card, it connects to this as well, but it brings the feminine energy because this is animalistic, you know, so that can be a transformation on just beyond just me, but just in the timing. This is what we're all coming into, kind of like growing through our roots and just becoming a visual representation and expression of God in this time, and just being true and raw and real with that through all phases, but then also connecting the insight and the wisdom of a feminine energy, but also freedom and knowledge and insight. With just you seeing her eyes, you can tell that she's seeing things, and through her seeing things, she can tap deeper into realms, because you start to see that it's not you seeing things. One can see just the mountains, but those correlations of the flower, which I spoke on before, or just the dimensions of the matrix, it gets real. So if nothing else, I like this number, and we're gonna look into this. What must be shall be. Had some food, warming up. I'm sitting here talking my block off, but it's all good though. I have it on low. I'm gonna go get some couple pages of my novel done and get some rest because tomorrow is a really big day. We'll talk about that later. It says, you have beautiful dreams and inspired bold ambitions. You are guided to believe that they are a natural expression of your soul, something that is meant to be. Life will support you in the expression of those dreams and ambitions, even in those moments where it seems to be a struggle rather than support that you are experiencing. The process for transformation into full maturity involves learning how to grow through light and through darkness back to the light again. You will always find your way back to the light. Have faith in yourself and what must be. Dedicate yourself to what you love without hesitation. Ashe. And we embrace that energy for all the earth angels, everyone out there trying to be themselves, however you want to label yourself. If you're an earth angel, that means you rocking with me. You know, we got the earth in the back. I got the green on, so it's only right. We're working with the heart chakra because actually that's a place that needs a lot of healing for me. But as we said, we just embracing it and loving it and being happy in the phases and what it's going to be. Because it's not about being in control. It's about balancing. It's about recognizing that your life is only for you to live. And your story is beautiful because you made it that way. So, yeah, I enjoy making these videos. And that's why it's more than money can even buy. And the reason why I can do this consistently. And, man, it sucks that I feel like I can't comfortably tell the details, but things will change because I'm moving into that, so it's going to be a reality, and I'd rather flow out that way. But regardless of the fact, y'all, we had a good little message today, and I feel so inspired. I'm so grateful to be able to overcome, and like I said, always find our way back to the light. And with the light, now you see things a lot more clearer. You thought you were seeing it good with the light on before, but now you got an extra layer of light. You know what I'm saying? What are they doing that at? But yeah, y'all, I'll be back tomorrow. I hope y'all came from this. I hope that y'all are inspired to, if nothing else, be yourself and really listen to yourself and what yourself is telling you to pay attention to. It's not by accident, and it's not wrong. Peace, y'all.